PTF and JK back with you to talk about the Saturday Sunset Six. What's the Sunset Six? A new wager from our friends at First. It combines the last three races at Gulfstream and the last three races at Santa Anita in a $1 15% takeout pick six happening every day of this fall meet that both tracks are running. I, for one, very excited about it, especially JK, because this dovetails nicely with the terrific opportunities for players we already have at Santa Anita, with those last three races being part of a low takeout $3 pick three, and the last two races being part of a low takeout $5 double. We were talking a little bit off air. Any strategies wagering wise you're thinking about to maybe combine this Sunset Six with those already existing great opportunities for players at Santa Anita?
Yeah, I mean, I think that any opportunity you have to be aggressive at Gulfstream, because, you know, if you're aggressive in terms of singles and aggressive in terms of not using too many horses, of really trying to lock in, you can really set yourself up on the back end for Santa Anita. In the unlikely or the unfortunate event that you get beat at Gulfstream, there's so many great opportunities at Santa Anita to come back and still leverage those opinions in those races, those last three races. You can come back and play that the pick three. You can come back and play the late double. You can come back and just play the traditional pick five, late pick five,
right, to
mix in those opinions where you could be very aggressive on the front end of this pick six to try to gather some real equity. And if you get alive to Santa Anita, then here you go. If for whatever reason you don't, now you can play the other side of it and really end up in a pretty good position.
And there's also a chance to hedge and or press, depending on what kind of position you're coming into at Santa Anita. Hit those biggest opinions even more. Or if there's that one horse that you left out for construction reasons that you wish you had in, this is an opportunity to put that horse in. We never preach hedging for hedging's sake on these shows, not that kind of podcast. And I don't think ultimately that's the way to make money. But sometimes you can't afford to do everything you want to do. Having good pools to be involved in that intersect like this gives an opportunity once in a while to maybe add a little bit of extra coverage, and always to press up those best opinions even more if you're not fully happy with the way you have it covered. There's a little bit of a dinner break, as it were, between the three races at Gulfstream and the three at Santa Anita on a lot of these days, and a chance to put your wagering strategy hat on. I want to say thank you to everybody out there watching, whether you're watching on the In the Money Media YouTube channel, the Santa Anita YouTube channel, Santa Anita socials, In the Money socials. Please help us out. Subscribe, especially on the YouTube side, but to the socials as well. Make sure you don't miss any of the great exclusive content our friends at Santa Anita and Gulfstream provide, as well as what we do over here at In the Money Media. Let's dive into these races, my friend. We kick off with race number 9, 5:05 Eastern at Gulfstream. We've got stakes action right from the jump. 2-year-olds in the Hollywood Beach going the flying 5 furlongs around Gulfstream. I'll let you kick things off.
Yeah, it's a single A, single B for me. Pretty straightforward. Monster to the outside. What number are we going here, Pete?
9. You
got it in front of you. Yeah, Monster, I think, is just that. I thought ran well. Ran into Bobrovsky, playoff Bob, as it were, in the Skidmore. He's drawn perfectly. You know, we talked about it on the Friday edition of this show. I love horses that have speed drawn outside turf sprints. I'll also use Lenny Lou as a backup. You know, she had shown a lot of talent. You know, she went over to Ascot. That didn't go well. She scratched.
She ran pretty well at Ascot. She was third.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying it didn't. You know, I mean, she didn't win. Is what I meant. But I think she's still pretty fast, still pretty special. So I want to make sure I have her in the mix. Those are the only two I need. Those two outside horses, the 9 and the 8.
Yeah, I really fell in love with Lenny Lou at Ascot. I wasn't sure going in, and then two things happened. One, she was a wild price over there in the day. I was able to advise her at a very big number, and then she just looked so good in the preliminaries. Interestingly, went down without a pony, different than a lot of American horses, but just looked the picture of health going to post, made me a fan for life. Was gonna run at Kentucky Downs. They decided not to do that in the incident that one guy on Twitter decided to give me a really hard time, saying I had no idea what I was doing, picking a scratched horse. We'd recorded it 4 days earlier. What are you going to do? Anyway, Lenny Lou came back, ran on the dirt, ran okay, won a nose. The figure wasn't great, but I think she's a turf horse, and getting back on to the preferred surface. I like her chances quite a bit. I'm not getting beat by Monster. I had it 8-9, 9-8 for JK. We're in a lot of differences on the Friday show. We are in lockstep to kick things off on the Saturday Sunset 6, which continues with some bread and butter stuff. 6250 claimers going a mile around Gulfstream in their 10th race on Saturday. Looney Seam is a horse I've always liked. In form, a winning kind, fits well with these. That's the 7 runner. I also thought Blue Slide Park, the 2 was interesting. Big trainer switch here to Barboza, and I thought that race 2 back would make Blue Slide Park look pretty tricky in here. 7-2 for me. I'm open to including others though, JK. What do you got?
Yeah, 2-4-7 for me. The same things you mentioned with the 2 and the 7. I'll add the 4 onto that mix as well. Kiki Love, who I thought 2 races back, you got the synthetic race that kind of dirtied it up. 2 races back, showed speed, got tired. There's been a horse that's come back and run well out of there that's won out of that race, which makes me believe that it might have been a little bit better, than it looks on paper. So just for me, 2-4-7. I didn't really need any of these other horses.
Let's get to the nightcap at Gulfstream on Saturday. We're going a mile on the turf for these 2-year-old fillies at the maiden special weight level. I liked Affirming, the 3 best. The Dam was a turf winner with some decent figures. The second Dam, people probably remember, Storm Flag Flying, juvenile champion, dirt, but Phipps blood, so turf is well within the range of possible outcomes. Sire Side being by Blame, who's by Arch, solid turf influence there. Affirming is the clear blood pick, but I wanted also the 7, Bert's Naughty Girl. Female Family has turf winners in it, showed some speed, and has run in the money twice. 3 and 7. This is another spot, though, where I don't mind the idea of spreading at least one more runner. Who you got for me?
Oh, I need 100 runners in here. So I'm going to use a 2, Teodoro. Mark Cassie's good with first-time starters. The horse has some precocity in the pedigree. Affirming, just like you talked about, the Rapoli homebred that has that Phipps family deep down inside. The 9, Welcome Surprise. There's a turf work 2 back. The fact that it's worked on the turf, we won't know until you can get a look at the workout report, but at least something that's on my radar at this point. The horse did get a work in. And then the 10, Tossing. It doesn't scream turf pedigree, but there is a sibling that's with Joseph O'Brien. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that if there's a horse with Joseph O'Brien, they probably are a little bit grassy. So I want to use 10, Tossing. But my top choice in here is going to be the 8, Birch Run. It's a horse who has experience. I think this summer I was reminded of experience and how far it goes in these races when it comes from a fitness standpoint, but just a mental standpoint. This horse has run well enough on the dirt. Now gets an opportunity to get to the grass. There isn't anything that really suggests that she's going to absolutely love it by any means, but she is one that has obviously had some talent. She's shown some talent to take some money to be single digits in all 4 starts in her career.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea at all. 8, 2, 3, 9, and 10 runners JK wants to use as we close out the Miami portion of the Sunset 6 and get on the plane out to Santa Anita. And this is a particularly cool sequence at Santa Anita. If you haven't looked, you got to get involved in this card. Santa Anita on Saturday. 5 graded stakes races. We're going to be talking about the last 3 of them here. And as mentioned before, you've got on these last 3 stakes races a special pick 3, the late pick 3 with a $3 minimum, 15% takeout, and then that special double connecting the last 2. Lots of interesting opportunities here. 7:38 Eastern is the time for this downhill Eddie D Stakes. As we head out west, JK, how do we want to keep this thing going?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 1 and the 2 as A horses. The 1, Reef Runner, I think makes a lot of sense on paper. Drawn well, tactical enough, should be able to work out a nice trip. I'm not too concerned about the 6.5. This horse kind of finishes his races. It's not a slam dunk, though. I will say that. The stretch from 5 to 6.5, it's pretty significant. Yep. And so, but I do want to have the horses in A. The 2, I definitely want to have. I don't think it plays the same as it used to play back in the day down the hill with the cutbacks from the speedy mile types, but I can't turn my eyes away from the fact this horse ran extremely well last time, going longer with speed, honest pace figures. Should be able to work out a nice trip. And if they get outrun a little bit here to the first turn, or not the first, to the only turn, if they get outrun a little bit to the turn, I do picture this 2-horse ending up in the pocket situation where then when they turn for home, they're going to have a bunch of stamina left because of that cutback. So I want to make sure I have those 2 horses. I'll use the 4, 5, 6, and 8 as B horses, though. None of them do I trust enough to upgrade fully as an A, but I definitely want to have in the mix just in case. So 1, 2 is A's, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 4, 1, 4, 5, 6, 8 is B's.
The 8's the one I wanted to talk about. First Piece, last year's winner of this race, had license to be short last time anyway, and I just think this is the downhill horse for course. We talk about our historic angles in this race. Yes, the milers with speed cutting back. I'm glad you took that one out of the mothballs. We've been talking about that on these shows. We've been talking about that angle before you were even on these shows, going back to Bobby's kitten days. So good to get that one on there. But yeah, First Piece. The other angle we always talk about here that I think is still wholly relevant, horses for courses going down the hill, First Piece being one of those. The 1 and the 6, both of whom you had in your reckoning of the race, both have questions about the downhill, but they're both in good form and just made so much sense. I wanted to have those at least. I'll take a look at your others, but I had this one 8 on the top line, 1 and 6 on the B line for JK, 1 and 2 with the 4, 5, 6, and 8 behind it as we move to the middle leg of the late pick 3 at Santa Anita Saturday, the penultimate leg in this Saturday Sunset 6. We've got grade 1 action, JK, in the form of the Goodwood. Who wins it?
Yeah, Full Serrano's going to be overbet. And, he's obviously talented and can win. I'll use the horse. But I think First Mission's interesting. Yeah, he's one who's always just kind of been knocking on the door. He's got some races that are probably better than what even Full Serrano's run. And I think he'll probably be a little bit ignored. I think you can get a little bit of a price on not ignored. I take that back. I just think that they're going to overbet some of these other ones in here. Yeah. I think he's going to be a little stranger.
I'm a good example of what you're saying because I'm tired of First Mission's act. I could see the market being similar, and you're going to get a horse at 8 to 5 that you can make a case should be shorter than that, right? I mean, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Monmouth race was disappointing, but you got to love the Stephen Foster where he ran into Sierra Leone and Mind Frame and ran as well as he did. There. Nope. Yeah, and he's got some other good ones. I'm fine with him. I'll use the 3 Privman as a backup, as a B horse, but I'll just need the 4 and the 7 as A's, with the 4 being the top choice.
Yeah, I try to get cute and beat First Mission, not wanting to have both him and Full Serrano. I put Privman on top, though. I think Privman's very interesting. This is an improving 3-year-old in the right hands, going to be tested for class, but could pass. And, it'd be fun to root for one named after our buddy and In the Money Media regular and Hall of Famer, Jay Privman. How cool would that be? But that's not why. It's not a hunch play, though. I swear. The horse, to me, just makes sense as one improving at the right time. Full Serrano looks the best speed. I cannot leave him off. And if I can, you're right. I'm probably being too cute by half, trying to leave out. I left out First Mission in my original picks. That's probably not wise. I'll take another look and see if there's some clever ways that runner can be included here. As we pivot to the final race of this Saturday sequence. More graded stakes action down the hill. 6.5 furlongs for the John C. Harris Stakes. This grade 3. How are we going to close this thing out, my friend? You're caught on mute. It had to happen once. I'm surprised. The over-under was 1.5. So there you go. Now you got it.
My mic.
Oh, you left your mic.
Yeah, but I'll
why don't I go first?
Right,
I'll go first while you sort it out.
I'm back. Yeah. You know how I feel about West Coast, East Coast turf horses. To me, Warming, ran into Fion, who was a very talented runner in the Belmont Oaks, ran into Mayday Ready in the Lake Placid, and with a bad trip, by the way, in the Lake Placid. Now shows up here, inside draw. I like Warming quite a bit in here. I'll use the 4 Innovative as well. It's kind of a home game for Phil D'Amato, a little bit more tactical speed, in case Warming finds herself in trouble again. So 1, 4 as A's, and then I'm going to use quite a few B horses, the 6, the 9, the 11, and the 12.
6, 9, 11, and 12 on the beeline for JK. I like Warming too. I think he makes a ton of sense. This is looks like a shrewd bit of spotting from Motion, who does so well with his West Coast Invaders. Best number came turf sprinting in just the second career start. So this is going to suit this is going to absolutely suit her. I said him. This is going to absolutely suit her. The only problem I have for her in this spot, the inside, I don't mind the inside in a race like the 8th race we talked about, where it's only 8 horses. With the big full field, it can be a little bit tricky. I don't care. I'm still putting Warming on top. There's still so many positives, but I definitely do think it's not a bad idea to back up. Eiffel, the 9, was the one that leapt out to me as one to have on side. Like the top one, ran the best figure early, sprinting on turf, and lately has been running long. Plenty of upside in just the 4th career start. And the way she's been bet on turf suggests that she's got talent beyond what we've seen. I thought Eiffel, the 9, was an interesting alternative to the 1 Warming. I'll take another look at your 4 as well and some of the other backups. Again, it's just going to come down to construction, but I'll definitely be alive to the 1 and the 9 as we close things out at Santa Anita. Any closing thoughts from you on this stakes-laden Saturday Santa Anita card, or anything else about this Saturday Sunset 6?
No, it's a lot of fun. I will mention for our friends at Santa Anita in First, they do have a contest on Saturday. I think it's 4,000 live money. Get you some BCBC seats.
expressbet.com/tournaments is going to be a place that you can go and get all the information on that one. We love to support their tournament program out there, as well as these terrific wagers they have. It's some of the most player-friendly stuff going. Love the Sunset 6, and we're going to be back on Sunday with another one. We've been live streaming. We'll live stream on Sunday at 2 Pacific, but you can also catch all the action on the In the Money Media YouTube channel, and I'm not sure if they're going to post it actually on the Santa channel before the live stream, but it will stream there as well. Easiest thing to do, subscribe to the In the Money Media YouTube channel, subscribe to our free newsletter. We send out lots of content, all the content really we do. So sometimes things are exclusively audio, sometimes exclusively video. If you subscribe to that free newsletter, you'll get everything. InTheMoneyPodcast.com/email. For JK, I'm Peter Thomas Fornatale. May you win all your photos.